Okay, so this bar admission, New York. Okay, a person's name obviously should be at the top. Was it on the top? Okay, this is her made up name, Kelly Cook. Okay, so here we go there. So Kelly Cook. These are made up names, by the way. I guess I'm not going to worry about that. And again, these lines. So this person says South Carolina bar admission pending. So this is going to be a real problem if this person's trying to get a job in New York or something like that. It doesn't say here where the person is. That I'm not too happy about. But if the person's trying to get a position with outside of South Carolina, there's no reason to put this on. Typically, you put the bar admission at the end. And I would put New York bar admission pending if a person's trying to get a job there. But you don't need to put anything that shows the employer that you're not necessarily interested in that particular area is not a good idea. So you want to be very careful about listing that sort of stuff. Okay, so let's see. Charlotte School of Law 2017. Okay, activities. Most of these are not necessary to put on there. Being a member of Phi Delta Phi or whatever doesn't really show anything. Like we talked about earlier, the BSLA is the Black Law Students Association. You're welcome to list that on there. The diversity does help you, but it's up to you if you want to make that an issue. I don't. It's up to you. And when I say issue, I mean that in a positive way. But some people want to put that on, others don't. That's up to you. I wouldn't put that you were the dean's list multiple semesters. There's no reason for that. I love this Master of Science in Taxation. That looks really good for business. I don't know if dean's list multiple semesters is necessary. Also, typically law firms want to hire people that they're not going to care as much. If you start listing that you were a dean's list one place and you weren't on the other, it just draws attention that maybe you weren't on the dean's list at Charlotte Law School. And you have a master's in tax, which is really good. You're also an enrolled agent, which is awesome. That's for people that don't know about, that's a very good thing, a very good thing to have. And I would actually put that at the end of your resume and do that. Again, I don't like this underlining. I don't know why people do it, but it's fine. Again, instead of legal experience, you could call it experience, and then this person is with, and you can see here some of these issues provided dash progress laws. Okay, I don't know. Offer of assistance. Okay, so this person's been there. President, K Baker Tax Group. I don't know that people want to see someone that's the president doing two jobs at the same time. That's not always a good idea because then that just doesn't look good. So you may just want to say, I don't know how you want to ensure the validity, and you don't want to be informal like this and say, etc. I wouldn't do that. So this needs to be shortened. This is a tax attorney here, so this is great. I don't know, calling yourself the president of it is a good idea. I would just say that. People, the problem, by the way, when someone, I see this all the time when I'm hiring people, if someone has if someone's a freelance, like when I hire writers, like if someone's also a freelance writer, I know that they're going to have other work to do during the day when I'm trying to give them work. And I know that they're probably not going to be dedicated to my project. So if the person's not dedicated to my project, that concerns me. Anytime I've hired someone that's been a solo practitioner, they've almost always continued doing their solo practitioner work on the side, and that hurts the employer. So you need to be very careful about how this is approached, and you want to make sure that you're very careful with it. There is nothing wrong with having graduated from law school in 2017 and having your own practice doing all this. That's actually awesome. There's nothing wrong with that at all that you've learned on your own. And law firms hire people like that. Just like I told you about the girl that had a $20 million practice doing immigration, and she's never been trained in a law firm. And I know lots of people that have had their own practice in tax and immigration that never worked in a law firm, self-trained, and developed books of business and managed to get into major US law firms. And you don't need all that information. This particular thing here needs to be shortened. I don't know how you're going to do it, but this here, I wouldn't list this because this is just a volunteer legal assistant for 3 months, and it's unrelated to what you're doing with a tax. Everything about this resume is tax. And then this is great. This revenue agent stuff is awesome. I love it. And this is very strong. And then this Deloitte tax is strong. And yeah, and all this stuff is great. So I don't know these special skills. I don't think you need those, which are LexisNexis and stuff. I would take that off. I might leave the National Association of Enrolled Agents on there. And then maybe a couple things about yourself that make you interesting. I like the person's webinar thing that we saw that like to roll. They said they like to run 3 miles a day or whatever, and or half marathons. and also that they enjoyed other stuff. So this is a very good resume for tax. I like it. And I think the resume seems to read more like someone that might like working in the government. But if this person wants a job at a law firm, they definitely can get it. And I certainly would have no problem working with this person if this stuff was cleaned up to some extent. Anytime you have a job that's fairly short, this is 1 year, that's okay. And all this stuff was good. So I like that. I think this is a good resume. So I'm going to take another quick break since we're on the second hour here. If people want and they stick around, I'll just keep talking about all this stuff. I'm happy to, but I would like to at least answer all the resume questions that everyone has had so far, since this has been a long presentation. And then I'm happy to come back and keep working on these resumes. There's just a lot of stuff here. And again, I would probably try to, shorten most of this stuff here, like this particular resume. Revenue agent, special agent, and then maybe come up with some things here to do it. But this resume can be 1 page. Great resume, just needs a few things fixed.